Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to cnky.in, the channel that discusses the Indo-Mediterranean initiative and politics in the Indo-Mediterranean. One of the most important players in the Indo-Mediterranean is obviously China, and today we have with us the president of the World Uyghur Congress, Dolkun, a dear friend. Dolkun, welcome.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for making the time today to speak about the rapidly changing geopolitics of Asia.
Yeah.
Um, One of the things that inspired me to ask you for some time was the paradox that happened last week. China gathered 14 Palestinian groups, a lot of which are also terrorist groups, specifically the Hamas, to try and involve Hamas into the Palestinian Liberation Organization. So this is a push from the Chinese end for an extremist Islamic group and trying to bring it to mainstream while China tries to destroy the identity of East Turkestan, of your province. So I'd like to hear what you have, your thoughts about this.
Well, thank you very much. It is a very important question. Yes. So last week, China lead to bring different of Palestinian group to the Beijing. They sign joint agreement. It looks like China want to give such an impressive to the world. Look, we are peacekeeper. We would like to solve the problem. And we are key factor for supporting Palestine and also Middle East. But actually, it is Chinese. This just a show. It is not. And what is Chinese government? They are Chinese government not know very well because this 14 group they have a lot of different of background. They cannot and despite of signing joint statement, we will see what kind of in the future what will the development we will have. Really, they are all respect this joint statement. This is different issue. But however, there is one important point. China one side looks like support the Palestine or support different of the groups, but same time Chinese government attack to Islam, you know. And among them 14 group, a lot of strong and is what Hamas, some other Islamist group, they are really it is Chinese ideology, Chinese Communist Party ideologies. This group ideology completely opposite each other. But China, one side looks like under leading for this group and trying to help them, but China never help to others. China only playing the game, creating the problem now. Today Uyghurs are suffering. Today Chinese government commit genocide against Uyghur Muslim. No? One of the main reason to attack to Uyghurs, one of the main reason to trying to eradicate Uyghur identity, one of the main factors is we are Muslim. This is Islam, because Chinese Communist Party Xi Jinping openly saying Islam is ideological disaster, illness. It must be eradicated. This is the official slogan. So one side, you are trying to attack to Islam, not only to the Uyghurs. You are openly burning Quran. Do you know burning Quran? Collected even pray mad. And according to the ASPI report, 2017 to 2023 years, 8,000 mosques completely demolished. Another 8,000 mosques is destroyed. You doing one side and trying to eradicate all Islamic value, but other side bring to the Islamic group and it looks like and willing to trying to help to them. This is not honest. Maybe most of the world don't know what is the aim of the Chinese Communist Party China, but we know very well because we are occupied people, we are suffering. We understand very well of the Chinese government's position and the Chinese government and aim. So that's why this is just to show, and just also just something that like give some lesson or give some to show to the Western country. European and some as United States, some as Western country look, and I bring this whole group. This was not first time, and a couple of months ago, Chinese government also brings the Saudi Arabia and the Iran leadership to the Beijing, and they sign contract, but no, what is the result? What is the result? China know very well, because this is not so easy issue. Just to bring the people and on the table, drink coffee and sign, oh, everything is finished. No, not really easy. China know very well, all will know. We will see what will happen in the future. But first, if China is honest, should be stopped to a war against the Uyghur Muslim. You should release 3 million people from the concentration camp. Should be respect and the Islamic value in East Turkestan. You should be allowed to fasting, should be allowed to go to the mosque. You should be open the mosque to all people. Let them to freely freedom expression and free to religious freedom. But unfortunately, one side doing the genocide was Islamic and the correct on Islamic value. Other side, oh, we are protecting Islam, we help the Palestinian people. It is just a liar, yeah.
But tell me, Dolkun, also all these groups, their basic values are Islam. Their basic
Yes.
motto is to defend Islam. And they are all silent at China's treatment of the Uyghur people. I mean, honestly, they have slogans that go from Palestine to Kashmir. They're all,
Yeah.
supposed to be champions of the faith. But they're silent at your treatment, and they are gathering in Beijing while
Yes, yeah.
their
This is
government is destroying your people. What would you say to them?
well. So this world is and the Islamic organization, Muslim world should be understand this with Chinese government. Maybe some is understand what the Chinese government aim, but pretend just cooperate with China. Because today, as I say, and the Chinese government very openly attack to the and starts the war against Islam. Of course, CCP is the enemy for all religions, Christianism, Buddhist, Falun Gong, even and Islam. But particularly saying Islam is a disaster, it must be eradicated. This all media reported it. BBC, Al Jazeera, all international media, all leader knows that. But because of in the own interest, I don't believe this group also really protected Islam. Taliban, for example. Taliban is and saying, oh, we protected Islam. Islamic value is important. That's why. But today, China's first country recognizes the Taliban. Chinese ambassador and coming to the Kabul is red tape and welcome. And China only support the Taliban. And Taliban also know why you Taliban don't say why. My mission is support. My mission is protect Islam, but we are Muslim. China is a crackdown Islam. More than 20 million Muslim people there. Why you sideline? Why you cooperate with the CCP? So that's why I'm saying this, all this group is not honest. They are not just own interest, some own benefit. I don't believe they are really and trying to protect this Islamic value.
Thank you, Dulkun. Question: if you might have noticed, there were some protests in Bangladesh that started with some student protests. Now it has become the protest of the Jamaat-e-Islami, the opposition, and it has kind of been hijacked. People say that there is a Chinese role in destabilizing Bangladesh. We have seen that in the past year, China has become far more paranoid, far more reactionary. I mean, there have been two senior defense officials that have been kicked out. The foreign minister was changed, and Wang Yi was brought back. What do you think is behind all this reactionary politics of Beijing? Is there insecurity in Beijing?
Well, and the Chinese government's policy to the neighboring country and the other country is territorial expanded policy. This is the Chinese government long-term policy. But before the Xi Jinping took the power, China not really show its original image, just silence, very silence. But since 2014, Xi Jinping talks of power. Xi Jinping say China's dream, China's dream. It is mean built on the road initiative. Spent trillion of dollar. They are saying, oh, benefit win-win policy, and we are trying to cooperate with other countries, and we economically cooperation built on road and the benefit to all country, all nations. So many, more than 80 countries join this initiative. China gives a lot of credit or and investment for this country. But China know very well, most of them neighboring countries, authoritarian country, very corrupted government. China know very well this credit cannot pay back to China. So that's why China is saying, no problem, no problem. You don't need pay back this money. Only I need your territory. Today is 21st century. Is not immediately like Russia, every China cannot military occupation some country, but use the economic power, slowly occupy. We have seen in Central Asia, my relatives, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, this, China give a lot of loan, a lot of investment. Government is very corrupted. No time is come. This credit pay back, but this country cannot pay. China say no, don't worry. Don't. They do the same thing in Sri Lanka, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, some other countries. I don't know. So it is built on the road. The project is territorial expanding project of the China. So now China is economic second big power. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, China was not this economic second big economy. Now it's second big economy. Use economic power trying to increase the problem as country. If it's neighboring country, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, this all country is inside not stability, it is benefit for China. China, oh, look, I'm coming, I help you. Help you. Support this group, support government, same time support other groups behind. This is the Chinese government has done since many years. We know that. So that's why we used our experience to warn the world. Don't trust China. Don't trust China. China never benefit us at all, because today million of Chinese citizens, not only Uyghur, not only Tibetan, million of the Chinese people are suffering in China. Today China spent huge money to own the project or the Belt and Road, spend the money, investment, but in China, million of children is died because hunger, no food, no clean water. This doesn't care. First, you have to take care of your children, you people. Of course, some part, Shanghai, Guangdong, some part is very developed. Every people in the world, even in the European people say, oh, China is very developed. Yes, China is very, very, very developed. But people only show that place is developed place. But some other part, Gansu, Shanghai, this part, and the people died because of hunger, no food, no clean water. Pollution is very high. But Chinese Communist Party doesn't care. Its life is not matter in China. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Dolkun. We are in a global transition right now. As you're aware, there is an election for president in the United States. Europe itself is in a little bit of political chaos. There are different European approaches to China, and there is no unity among the European leaders to the China approach. In this phase of transition, what would be your message as the leader of a people that is being oppressed by China on a daily basis? What would be your message to whoever will be the new president of the United States and to today's European leaders?
Well, I understand no is a European leaders or US leaders little bit understand of China, particularly last couple of years. But we know since the 30 years, my advocacy in the exile, we in the exile, we and some other Uyghur activists or Chinese activists or Hong Kong activists, yeah, you the all previous experience because we know very well China very well than other. Maybe some Western expert is a China expert. So maybe they know China, but we know the China from the daily life. You know, yes. We know the China from all grandfather. We know the China from the all parents. Yeah. So we are expert on this from our daily life. So we warn them to the world, but nobody listens. But last couple of years, knows China people and the Western leaders little bit and seen is the real face of China. Then in the US and the NATO alliance on the Western country, oh, okay. Because today CCP spread fake news and fake news and disinformation campaign large and more than 150 Chinese police station was formed. China transnational repression very actively implemented. We told us all nobody, though it is no, and China not only threatened to the Uyghur, Tibet, Hong Kong, is Taiwan. Today, China, Chinese Communist Party, threat global democracy, rule of law, you know, and international order. China operates a police station in Germany, Italy, middle of Europe, or United States. This is a national sovereignty problem. No little bit work up. But because of the temporary economic benefit, still Western leaders continue to make business with China. Because they are just thinking of the vote, next elections, just a temporary, but this Western leader should be thinking in the future, next generation. No? China use its economic power and know it's a lot of Western academy. Also Chinese government influence the academic level, you know, political level. We have a lot of evidence. Even the European Parliament member, Chinese government pays the money and bought some parliament member or assistant. Same thing is in the United States, Canada, around the world. So I'd like to say as a Western leader, don't trust China. This is for long term. You should not be thinking short term benefit of your economic benefit. You have to think long term because today democracy, Western democracy, not coming themselves. They pay a lot of price, you know. Chinese want to destroy Western democracy, Western value, and China now it's lead of the autocratic regime, authoritarian regime. Unfortunately, time to time we seen is authoritarian's voice getting loudly than democracy. But democracy not united sometimes. Democratic nations some unite, split a lot. China's main purpose is split. Even trying to split is European Union. You know, European Union among them. So European not a common foreign policy. It is the bad. It is the pity. So particularly Western nation, European country should be thinking on this little bit thinking in the future, next generation, and there should be this democracy, rule of law must be maintained. Democracy is the rule of law must be protect. If just thinking of temporary economic benefit, just a business, then the long term, really Western democracy, rule of law, and human rights, basic Western value under dangers.
Thank you very much, Dolkun. So
I
thank you
thank you very
so
much.
much for making time today. And I hopefully we'll be able to do a follow up very shortly in a few weeks. It was great seeing you this morning. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you
I
very
thank
much.